Hadush Kebatu was released by accident on Friday when he was supposed to be sent to an immigration detention centre to be deported. Obviously, that led to a massive shambles over the weekend. 2-day manhunt. He was then rearrested. There you can see in the park. Member of the public pointed him out. Police got involved. Then he was basically taken to a deportation centre and then on Tuesday night was forcibly returned to Ethiopia by plane. He'd been in jail for sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl and a woman while living in an asylum hotel in Epping in Essex, and that all caused protests and violence. His sentence was over 12 months, which the law says means he had to be deported. But now we've learned that he was paid £500. The Home Office says Kebatu applied for a facilitated return scheme, which lets foreign offenders who agree to leave the UK receive payments of up to £1,500. The Home Office said, no, you're not getting the money. They said the reason the removals team paid him is because he then threatened to disrupt his flight. And they thought, well, if we have to then unbook him and rebook him, it's going to be a nightmare. So they basically handed the money over. Now, we might talk about this again later. I don't know. It's just a shocking one.
Well, the whole thing is a shambles. This whole episode is a shambles. But what bugs me is that he was a criminal being deported as a result of a judge's decision. So the idea of him voluntarily going into a scheme whereby he gets 1,500 was off the table altogether. So they get to the steps of the plane, 5 immigration officers with him saying, right, you're getting on this plane and you're going, no, if you don't give me £500, which, by the way...
I don't think he said that. I think he said, I'm not going. And he said, what he said was, Mike, he said, I want to apply for asylum again because they got my case wrong. And at this point, they got a decision. If he goes back into the system, it could be another 2 years.
Yeah.
So they just think, let's just grease his palm here.
I understand he asked for the money.
Right.
That's my understanding, is that he asked for an incentive to get on the plane. You're absolutely
exactly,
right.
Yeah,
exactly. He asked for an incentive to get on the plane. He did say go back to the asylum system. But they should have said, you can't go back into the asylum system. You are being deported because a judge told us you've got to leave the country. He's gone back now to Ethiopia.
But they kept to then carry him kicking and screaming.
I would.
Would you? Or Paulette, would you say, look, you're getting on this plane even if we have to, I don't know, drug you?
No, I wouldn't. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. And this is an heinous character. He's assaulted someone on British soil. He should be out of the country. I absolutely support the fact that he shouldn't be part of any scheme that was being paid. But he had got to the airport. There were 5 people with him, and he seemed to know the rules. And at that point, at this moment in time, those are the rules.
It's a practical solution.
It's a practical solution. And it wasn't made by politicians. The people that were there were 5 people. So what they felt was it was easier to give him a little bit of money. He didn't say how much and get him on the plane. But I absolutely don't agree.
But the worry is the incentive here, that everyone who then realises, oh, if I kick up on the steps to the aircraft, I'm going to get a £500 jackpot.
Or even if I get back to Ethiopia and tell them I got 500 quid, how many people in Ethiopia will then say we're heading for the United Kingdom because you get free money? Yes, it could happen. It's such a poor country.
Knowing Shabana the way I know Shabana, if there was a loophole there, it will be closed.
OK.
Well,
that's the Home
Secretary.
If there is a loophole there,
you want him in manacles.
Why wasn't he put in manacles? You know, legs and feet and taken on the plane. Why not? They do it in America.
Another question I'd like to ask is, and it's an earlier question, when he was released, where was his forwarding address?
Well, he didn't need one because he was being deported. So there wasn't... When he came... No, you're absolutely right. When he came out of the jail, he had nowhere to go because he didn't have a forwarding address because he should have been deported.
Yeah. OK, Pippa and Kent, hello.
Hello.
Are you annoyed by this £500 or do you think that you've just got to get him on the plane?
I'm absolutely annoyed. But I must say, I do love Mike. And I think he's great because we got Judge Rinder to do the... James Bond stance together.
Yeah.
So I remember you.
Oh, he was very good at that. Yeah.
Okay.
I know. We'll have to get Jeremy to do it one day.
One day we'll do it. But what do you think about the £500?
I think it's absolutely disgusting. And do you know how much money that is in Ethiopia?
33,000.
Well, it's a year's pay or more.
33,000.
Actually. Yeah.
Exactly. And you can buy a house out there for that kind of money.
Yeah. So, okay. Thank you, Pippa. Thank you. Linda in Kent, is that your worry that this becomes then another incentive to come here?
Oh, more than likely, Jeremy. I can't believe it. This country's gone mad. I wake up every morning and think this isn't the country I grew up in. Yesterday, the same day they were giving him £500, I received notification of what I'm going to get for my winter fuel allowance, which I didn't get anything last year, so I suppose it's better, which is £100. Right. Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much. But that's £50 lower than I got before it was taken away by the Chancellor. So has that £50 gone into that man's pocket? I mean, that lady that you've got on your panel today, I'm sorry I've forgotten her name.
Paulette, Labour MP.
Has just said, give him a little bit of money, she said. Well, I'll tell you what, if it's only a little bit of money, the Chancellor can give me £500.
Well, let Paulette answer, Linda.
A little bit of money to me.
Linda, the reason I said it was easier to give him that money to get him out of this country was because if he had carried on and they had to take him back to prison and they then lost all the money for the flights, he wouldn't have left the country. We would be paying for him to be kept in prison. We would have paid for all the flights and all the additional thousands of pounds we would have had to have covered. It's better that we get that man off this soil.
How about that, Linda?
I don't care, Jeremy. I'm sorry. What sort of fuss can I kick up that I get £500? Because I've been a very good citizen all my life. I've worked from the age of 15 till I was made redundant at 63. I had to keep myself for a year because there was nothing I could claim. Because it's terrible. I've got a husband. And now I'm being told, well, you can't have that £50. And I suppose a lot of people would say,
no, I hear you.
Well,
honestly, I hear you, and I think I know, and I completely hear you, Linda, and the anger over it. I mean, as Paulette says, it was a practical solution that somebody on the ground decided to do, and now it's blown up into another massive thing. Vincent in Nottinghamshire, hi.
Hi.
Well, what do you think? Was it wrong to pay that money to get him on the plane?
I think it was terribly wrong. Just another catastrophe from this government. Why on earth would they give him £500? There'd been no problem in travelling back to Ethiopia. There was 8 people travelling with him. He couldn't have disrupted that flight if he'd tried. He was also given £100 when he left the prison, so he got £600. It's just a slap in the face to the person that he assaulted as well.
I wonder. Well, that's true enough. Yeah, I mean, maybe the £500 should have gone to his victim, Mike. Yeah. What about that for thought?
And maybe the £500 is part of a secret slush fund, because we didn't know that the person who was escorting him to the plane had the authority to offer him £500.
How about this? How about this for a thought for you, Mike? What if you said to every person who come on a boat, and you said like 30,000 this year or whatever it is so far. You said to everyone, look, would you go back for £500? And they said yes. Would you activate that system?
Well, I think you would. I think that would be an option, because that would be £500 dead. Yeah, but hang on. That's in exchange for spending £15.4 billion on accommodation for them. So, yes, that would be value for money to try and stop the problem if they all went back.
Vincent in Nottinghamshire, what do you think?
Come back again, isn't he? Because if he's got the equivalent of £30,000 in Ethiopia and the £100 as well on top of that, he's going to come back again and do things again, isn't he? He'll come back on another boat, I would imagine. But the thing is, the annoying thing is, who gave the authority to give it him? And if it was all about getting him on the plane and getting him back, why didn't they give it him and then take it off him when they got there?
Good idea.
This is just not right.
I can hear the anger. I hear the anger. Vincent, thank you so much. Thank you.